hell's the... Damn it, Microsoft. What did you do? Damn it. They took away the, Oh, there it is. I got it. Never mind. I was looking for the button to switch everything to minimize everything and to show the desktop. I actually think the window blind I'm using hid it. Anyway, so everyone, this is GeoWill from Productions², and it's already started. Crap. Hopefully it doesn't cause any problems. Okay, just reopen this window. Gold Rush game. It should be showing, but I'm getting a blank screen. OBS, why are you black screening me? I did save it. Let me go ahead and resave it really quick. So let me do some backstory here. So I did a crap ton of mining off stream. And as a result, I was able to get up to just a little over 100 ounces of gold. Before, importantly, there it goes. Now let's make sure that it's getting to Twitch and all the other places. Just before, I ran completely out of fuel. Completely and totally out of fuel. It's just a pain in the arse. So I managed to get a bunch of cleanouts done. Well, 3 full cleanouts. The gold wasn't really that good, to be honest. I was expecting it to be better than it was, and it turned out to be not very good. So while that was going on, I was accruing debt every day from the loan. So I was at 105 grand debt, and I had about 113 ounces and about almost 1,400 ounces of magnetite. So I went and sold all the magnetite. That got me about 10,000 bucks. Then I went and sold all the gold that I had, and that only came out to about 50 grand. Well, 56 something grand. So I made the decision that branch of season 2, branch C of season 2 is not viable. So we're coming back to branch 1, where I had started smelting the gold. I smelted all the gold again, all 300 whatever ounces I had, and saved it so that now we have a save point after I smelted it, so we don't have to go through all that again. What I'm going to be doing is we're going to try something interesting here. So I've got all this gold ready to go. Let's get over to the wow, leggy. Let's go ahead and get over to the bank so I can sell it. And what's going to happen here is I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to go back to the claim to Old Arnold, and I'm going to wait till morning. The reason for this is because a fairly good chunk of that money is going to get sucked up by the lease payment. And instead of spending a bunch of money and not having enough to cover it and going into debt, we'll allow the lease payment to go through, and then we'll have whatever's left over to spend. So what I'm gonna be doing is we're gonna sell. Yes, I wish I could sell multiple bars, but this will come out to like I think it was, what was it, 320K or something like that. And we sold all this out last time. $360 maybe. Yeah, it was 360. So we're gonna end up actually 370, wasn't it? It's actually 373. So we're gonna go wait and have our 105 or whatever it was. Whoa, camera is on the wrong one. I'm gonna go back and let the lease payment go through, and then whatever I have left, what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably pay down half the debt that's remaining, depending on what I have left. It'll depend. If I have over 150K left, I'll pay off half the debt. If it's less than that, then I'll pay off a quarter of the debt. Now what we're going to do with the rest of it is we're going to get a conveyor, potentially. That's not entirely sure yet. I'm going to get a conveyor and the hopper. If we have enough to, if we don't have enough to get potentially a better trommel. So my theory here is that as we go up with the different types of equipment, the amount of gold they will produce goes up. So for example, the old rusted out piece of crap trommel that we have will get less gold than the old Arnold trommel, which is the next one up. Problem with that is the old Arnold trommel is 160 grand. It's an insane amount of money. Theoretically, it should pay for itself though in magnetite and gold, because the stuff we're finding now, most of it is going to be coming out of the mosses and the mats, which is pretty much whatever comes out of the trommel, at least for the mosses. The mats it might have to do with also with the jigs too. I think that was already off. I want to make sure. Alright, so let's go ahead and wait for till dawn. So a couple of hours here. Alright, do your worst. 100. Okay, not too bad. It's 103. They did. There was a little bit of gold that was taken. In addition, I think probably there's like a 0.0 whatever ounces, and then the loan payment. So we actually have 263. That's not too bad. That's actually way more than I thought I was gonna have. All right. So let's see what we can do with this. Whoa. Okay, we had all kinds of stuff going on there. So we got this 263 now. So part of the problem was last time I went ahead and leased Rivertown and ended up with 100 and ended with up with 90,000 something debt after also renting an excavator, or buying it to set up stuff and then putting it back. We're gonna have to do another excavator if we get either the trommel or the other stuff. So either way, we'll have to also get the small excavator again to do that. First, though, we need to go see how much half the debt is. Now, what would be nice is potentially we could get both the trommel and the hopper and the conveyor belt. That'd make it a lot easier. The other thing I had an idea about was possibly getting the bulldozer. So the loader's fine and dandy for what we're using it for right now, but the bulldozer is really what's supposed to be used to rip up dirt and, you know, stockpile it and whatnot. Then you use the loader to pick up the material that you've moved with the dozer or the excavator into a dump truck or something like that. So we'll just have to see what we want to do with that. I'm going to go ahead and save over 1B, because at this point this is, you know, we're going to be at this point no matter what, so it'd be better to put it here so we don't have to do all that all over again. Okay, so first of all, loan. We have, that's not bad actually, we have less than 100 grand left. I thought we had more. So I'm going to do a pay off the loan. So it's a little over half of what's left. Kind of, sort of. No, not really, but it took me below 200,000, so it took me down to, what would that be, 170,000? So no. Let's go ahead and pay off. Well, I can't exactly do half. I wish we could do a finer tuning of this. Let's go ahead and pay off, let's pay off a quarter of it to start with, and we'll see. If I have some left over, I'll do some more. I'll pay a little bit more, I guess, since I can't exactly get in there right. So our daily payment now is down a bunch, which is good. I don't know what the balance due means. Doesn't make any sense to me. what that's supposed to be about. Anyway, so let's head over to the heavy machine yard and see what we have available to us here. Or maybe we reload that save and don't pay any of the loan off and just buy everything we need to. So I was thinking about a couple different things. So potentially getting a new, better trommel, the conveyor, or the and the hopper, dozer, or so one of those in some combination with the BFFT here. This is only going to be 18 grand, so we could get that easily with something. What is the dozer? I don't even know. Okay, the dozer's 100 grand, so that's pretty expensive. This is 122 grand. This one's 230. So yeah, this is the next stage up. This is the one we have now. I was also thinking maybe about upgrading the jigs, but that's kind of out of my price range at the moment. It's like 100 something grand, 130 grand for one of those, and 260 for one of those gravel pumps. Same issue with the shakers. The highest end shakers basically the same as a frickin' Frankenstein, and this one is 277. So let's see if we want to go with this. That's we'll call that 273. We'll call that 34. So that's 107. So 107, so that would be 129, we'll call it 130, 230 rather. So that would put us right up against where we're at right now, 230. Now if we didn't pay off any of the debt, we can get all that and also the big fuel tank. So we can get all that stuff, which would be nice. Now if we left this out, which is this is like 100 grand there, we just got the trommel, and we got the fuel tank, and we got this. That would actually be a little less. We'd have a little bit more to work with. So let me see what this would be. Let's go ahead and get this. We need 10 grand for the fuel for that though. That's the main thing. That's the extra cost with that. So it's actually closer to 30 grand for that total. Alright, that's gonna probably be around 220, I'm gonna say. Maybe 208. 235. Okay, that was way wrong. Wow. So that's more than what we have now. Yeah, let's go ahead and load up that save. We just won't pay any of the debt back, which is fine. We're actually we're a lot lower than I thought we were, so that's not so bad. Alright, so we got 230, we got 263. So the other thing is we have to rent the excavator as well. So that's something that I need to account for as well. Crap. That's I think the excavator is, it's like 18 or 17, small excavator. 16.9. Okay, 16.8. So let's go ahead and get this. So add. We'd have to get the dozer after because we'll need to sell this back to not have to buy another machine slot at the claim. Alright, so that and then the excavator to start with. So that's 156. So once we add in the, yeah, it's going to be like 130-ish for the bulldozer too. All right, let's go ahead and order that. And we'll go ahead and move these over to Old Arnold. Order. Alright, so first thing we need to do is we need to go to the gas station. And we need to order up our fuel. You have to order the fuel from the gas station for that. You could try filling it up with fuel tanks, but it will take 10 different trips, or 5 if you have 2 fuel tanks. You'll still have to take 10 trips to fill them all, though. So what we'll do is we'll go down here, and the way you do this is you have to, once you have the tank, what you have to do is you have to, oh, right, wrong place. It's on the tank itself. So I'll have to go back to the claim real quick. We'll be able to sell the old trommel as well. We'll probably get, that's true, we'll probably get some money for that. So it was it 12,000 for the old one? So we'll probably get something like 8,000 or 9,000 for that. For that trommel. Or I could keep it and not sell it. And we could use that to start building out another wash plant for Rivertown when we actually are able to get to there, would not be, you know, financially fracked like crazy by doing so. Still think this is a good middle. Wow, this is a good middle ground, I think. What we're gonna be doing here with the getting the next stage up trommel, so it'll get us more gold and more magnetite into our mosses, and potentially into our jigs and into our hog pans as well. So everything downstream of that will be improved, basically. All right. First things first, let's go ahead and move this over here. Out of the way. I believe the chains are in the shed. First thing we'll need to do is we'll need to rip out the old, need to rip out the old trommel, first of all. So in order to do this, what you do is you come back here, and there's like a door back here. And you use that, and then you can purchase the gas. Okay, 20 grand. I was mistaken. It's 20 grand to fuel it up. Okay, we'll do that. That's, damn. Okay, I might have to wait on the bulldozer, which is fine. That's more of a nice to have than a need right at the moment. So we can do everything just fine with the excavator. I decided it'd be interesting to try and use the bulldozer to do what we're doing with the excavator and see if we have more, if we can get more material processed in terms of getting it out of the ground. Because the bulldozer is going to have way more horsepower than the loader will. We'll also get some money back selling this. Oops. Oh, no. No. Damn. And, okay, there we go, finally. After I pushed every button on the keyboard, we are going in the right direction now. Alright, so we're going to have to unhook the power cable from the trommel once I get down there. Actually, we'll have to go up to it from over above and over the edge. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're getting, so with this, on this one here, a full clean out will get me about, out of this dirt I've been digging down here, a full clean out, if I remember correctly, is like about 30 to 35, maybe sometimes 40 ounces. Over there at the Rivertown where I was digging at, It wasn't where I was digging at first. It was kind of over to the side where it was easier to get to and from. Kind of where that hill is, where the deepest part of the claim is. That hill. If you watched me doing the drilling on the other stream, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's basically where I was mining into and underneath. I was digging into that stuff. But I was getting about 38, 45 ounces of clean out, basically. And then losing a bunch during the because of the lease payment. So the lease payment there was 35%. Here it's 30%. So I was actually paying more there. All right, so let's see how we can get this done. This is gonna be fun. So let's go ahead and unhook the. I wonder if we could. What I want to do is I would like to like take these parts out if I could. And if I could. And I can, but I don't know if I want to or not. So I don't have to buy all the new parts when I go to put it somewhere. Crap. I gotta figure out how to get to all this stuff. So which one is this? This is the outside on this one, okay. Now I need to get to the other one, which is somewhere inside the trommel here. I don't know if this one will reach or not. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. Now, we should be able to just pull this sucker right out of here, but we'll see what happens. I haven't torn down a wash plant before. Okay, yeah. Oops. Alright, so we're going to back this thing up. Or try to. If the that water splitter stops being a pain in the arse here. You think a giant bloody friggin' thing would just roll right over without any problems, but apparently not. There we go. Okay, so first things first, let me straighten out here. Alright. Let's see. I wonder how much I would get for this. Let me go see. If it's more than 5,000, or let's say it's more than 10,000, maybe I'll sell it. So we'll get like 9 or so thousand for this for the excavator when we sell it back. So, like I said, that's not really a big deal at the moment to get the bulldozer. I need a souped up excavator that'll go more than 3 kilometers an hour. Maybe something that goes, 10 kilometers an hour. That tree is going to get in the way almost. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing this out a bit. And then I'm going to swing this back around. So what I need to do is I need to swing this way. Back it up a little bit. So the trommel's a 5,000, okay. So cables are worth 8. So yeah, the smallest 7,500 for the excavator and 500 for the trommel. So that's 12,500 altogether. Yeah, I don't think I'll sell it. It's not really worth selling. I don't think we don't need the cash that badly. So I'll just drop it over here somewhere. And we'll just unhook the cables, and I'll send it to storage over at the heavy machine yard, and we'll pull it out whenever we start up a new claim. So I've never put in this other trommel yet before, so I have no clue which side is the one we're supposed to be using. Oh, we're backwards. Crap. Okay, let me back up a little bit here so we can get the arm around. Alright. So I think the power is going to be here. So there's a box there, so I'm assuming that's where the power is going to be at. Tree's getting in the way. Actually, not yet. I want to bring the arm down and in over a little bit. Okay, there we go. Let's go find the hard points here. If there bloody are any, what the hell? Oh, they're on top of this thing. Well, that's interesting. Hell, where's the other cable at? Come on. Magically find it. Gotta be in here somewhere, damn it. Crap. I'll need to lift it up. So annoying. Right there. Now I should be able to find it. Or not. Jesus Christ. Just once. I would like something to be slightly, moderately easy. Alright, now I can finally see it. But can I friggin' reach it? There we go. Alright, so, other side. Oh, you son of a biscuit eater. I can't quite jump over this now because it's friggin' tilted over in so many stupid ways. Okay, and I'm like gonna get crushed back because I'm swinging it around here. Aha, there we go. No. Seriously? That's her gonna do it? You're gonna do me that way, huh? Alright, now if I can't reach that thing, I'm gonna be pissed off. Okay, there it is. Oh, barely made it around. Okay. Plenty of room on that one now. This one's going to be a pain in the arse to move around, I think, because the connection points are much higher up. So it's going to hang a lot lower. Oh, crap. And we weren't actually moving around the tracks, we're moving around the... crap. There we go. So we're going to have to... it's going to run to all kinds of crap. You actually probably could have gone with the 4s on this one, the 4-meter cables. Because it's on top, so it's much easier to get the cables to where they need to go. The anchor points are on top. Now, one reason that makes me think maybe... we have it backwards is that the mesh is on that side. Well, we'll see when we get here. I think I might have it backwards. That's certainly not, well, technically, it's not backwards right now. If you can just get it, like, up there and drop it and put it down. Trying to figure out where the hell the mesh goes. Okay, it looks like it does go this way, the way that I have it. Ah, crap, that thing's in the way again. All the places to put that damn thing, I always put it right in the middle of where I would have to go to put new stuff in, for some reason. Try going around it this time. Now what I'm hoping is that this just goes kind of right into place here. Boom. Alright, so now it's in place. Now let's go ahead and drag the, well, I don't know, where should we put that? BFFT. I don't want to put it over here because it'll clog up everything over here. But I want to put it somewhere closer than that because that's kind of also in the way of everything. Maybe back over here, all this open space here by the, in between the fuel truck, these fuel trailers and that storage thing. The drop-off place for the deliveries. Right in that area, I think. In front of the stream is probably where it'll go best. So let's go ahead and move that over. And then I'm going to do a quick test, quick 50% test on the new trommel. Well, it won't be quick, but we'll still do it. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Boom, right there. Kind of almost. We're close though, to where I was thinking it would go. Right there, that's exactly where I thought it would go. Looks pretty good right there. The fuel pump's on the right side there, so that's good. Sitting here on the outside, we can get to the back of it pretty easily. We don't really need to get back here, but if we needed to, we could. Alright, let's go ahead and really quickly take off these chains, cables, whatever the hell you want to call them. Some magical lengths of cable that aren't 5 meters, but somehow say they are. Alright, let's go sell this off, get our 7,500 back for it. So I got plenty of fuel in there, but we didn't put any in, so it's fine. Came with it, so. To be honest, we should be able to, I still think we should be able to siphon fuel out of stuff. So I should be able to come over here and just take that fuel out of there and use it somewhere else. I guess that'd be too easy or something. Speaking of which, there's a new the normal difficulty has become harder. I guess because people were complaining that it wasn't hard enough to find. It was not hard enough to find gold already in the normal mode. They wanted to make it harder. So they did. That's why when we loaded up, that's why it said easy mode down at the bottom, the difficulty. When you load up a save that was from before the most recent patch, it'll ask you one time if you want to leave it on the normal, which is going to be set to new normal. And I have no clue what that actually entails. It just says it enables some things. I don't know what it's talking about. Things are already enabled. So unless there's new settings or something that cause all kinds of hell, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Which it's par for the course. With these guys, but or to set it to easy, which is, I guess, now going to be the same difficulty as normal was. So easy is now gone, basically. Easy is normal, and normal is hard, and hard is who the hell knows what. Well, veteran, I guess, is what it's called. So if I wanted to, I could turn on $1 mode right now. As a matter of fact, I had to turn it off earlier so I could sell the magnetite, or upgrade the blacksmith properly without only spending 1 ounce of magnetite. Alright, let's go and get these back into place. How I missed this second ladder. Rivertown's Trammel sluice box setup is total freaking crap. I have no problem saying that's total freaking crap, and it's really a design mistake, to be honest. It's already annoying as hell enough to deal with these things. You don't need to be adding in some stupid crap like a frickin' thing you have to walk across and can't easily get up and down quickly like this, just to put these things in and take them off and whatever. Very stupid design choice. Same thing with Nighthawk. They have the same kind of setup for the right side sluice box. I think the thing should be up on top here. Yeah. Oh, we got one of them before I slowly slipped down into hell. All right. There's that one. There's this one. It's not quite as laggy right now for some reason. Now, I think part of the reason why it's so laggy if we come back here is that when you're far enough away, the buckets are still drawn. They're drawn as black dots like this. Actually, no, it's not, well, it's kind of laggy. So if I turn over this way, 43, 44, 45. Turn over this way, you can see it up there, 36, 35. You lose about 10 FPS. I don't know what it is about these buckets, but something about how they're drawn or rendered or something just causes this thing all kinds of hell. Maybe it's the number of them, I don't know. It's possible it's the number of them. It's only like 50. And the physics engine's like, yeah, I'm gonna crap out for a while over here. Now, speaking of the physics engine, I had an awesome, just really freaking awesome glitch happen while I was mining on the other save. So I brought over a fuel trailer to fuel up the gen plant because it was getting pretty low on fuel. So I back it up. The gen plant, the trailer hits the gen plant. On the right edge of the trailer hits the gen plant. On kind of the right edge where all the plugs are at. Jams into the side, into a cable, gets stuck there. I try and get out of it, and what happens is that the truck flips over about 10 times, the hood comes flying off and lands over somewhere in the mineable section of the claim. The fuel trailer ends up on top of the gen plant, upside down, and the truck ends up having to respawn because it lands upside down. And the water trailer, which I'd moved a little bit closer because I was worried about the river drying up because it was getting up close to 26C during the day at that point, goes flying off and off the map somewhere. I have no clue where it went to. It was just epic. I just sat there and I was like, what the F? It's one of the more epic physics glitches I've seen happen so far. Alright, so everything is back in place. All the mats are in and cleaned. All the mosses are in and the things are on them. Just need to hook up the power for the trommel. And then let's check on the fuel for the... Ah, come on. Oh, come on. Go to the plug. There. Alright, now we need to check on the fuel for the loader. Because I believe it's low. It got to a point where I was like out of fuel, and I tried to save it as much as possible by literally just loading up the... Oh, it's about half a tank left. I'm still going to fill it up. I basically just... only running the plant when at 100% in the hopper, or in the shaker, and then going out getting more while it was running to fill it up, and once that got down to 0, turn it off again, both it and the gen plant and the water pump, and then start up again once it got back to 100 just to conserve fuel. I ended up running out of fuel in the loader before those. Managed to get through clean out in a half that way. Ah, that's still there. Alright. So let's go ahead and turn this on. I think I'll need to also hook up the other cables over here, the other hoses. I think they're still going down to the clean out stuff. Yeah. And now we're back to being laggy. Super crazy laggy. Maybe it has something to do with the water. It's not the water's turned on. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Let me go. It wouldn't surprise me if this is physics that they're using for the physics engine. Because physics does weird things with water. Yeah, look at that. It's the water. Holy crap. Turning the water on drops like, I It's still not good. It's about 30 FPS. Well, I guess it's okay. But I mean, it drops it down to 18 from like 30, 28, 29. Just because the water's running. Now, speaking of which, we need to fuel this up. A bit. Just a bit. That should be more than enough for now. Alright, turn this back on. Let's go get the gen plant going. So, power splitter, aluminum trommel, and the shaker. Alright, we are ready to go. Let's go get some gold in there and get a 50% clean out going. Also, for some reason, I was having a hell of a time digging down to the ground on the other claim. I have no clue why. And the section I was on, it went kind of slowly downward, and then it dropped off. But at that point of dropping off, I couldn't get the buckets, the loader bucket, to go down far enough to scoop it out. Now, what do you know? It's going to start raining. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do this other... So this stuff over here I know is really good, so we're just going to go ahead and mine out this stuff. So now I gotta get used to coming back up this hill here. Alright. Alright, first load of a 50% clean out. Now it's not so bad. Not really sure. Maybe it's the particles on the water or something. I don't know. Maybe it's the water in conjunction with all the buckets. Causes the physics engine to like friggin' hog up the resources. I don't know. All I know is that something along in conjunction with the water is causing all kinds of hell over there. Bye bye, post. That's interesting. I actually got 3% on the first one. That's kind of interesting. Or maybe it was 3% from the little bit I dropped in. The number should just be 2%. It seems like it's doing a little more than 2% though. It's kind of interesting. It'd be nice if you could just run material and have the amount of gold you get based off of how many yards you've run and how rich the gold is, or the ground is, instead of, you know, basing it off of some arbitrary fill number. I mean, sure, you want to clean it out every once in a while, but I mean, it's not like you shouldn't be able to run it for longer than what you can. It's one of the biggest things. I like to yell at my TV when I'm watching Gold Rush sometimes, and they're all like complaining when something breaks down, they can't run anymore, and they're like, "Oh, we need to run, we need to run." And I'm like, "Do a freaking clean out, you morons! If you're down, clean it out." It just makes total sense to me. If you can't run for some reason, and you've been running for a while, just clean the friggin' thing out. You're not gonna find less gold later on if you clean it out now. It's going to be the same amount of gold, you'll just pick it up in different sections. You know, different, 2 separate amounts. The other thing that kind of grinds my gears is when they like run for 5 days or 6 days straight. I mean, if your plant is like Parker's new one in season 3, where the riffles don't fill up with any material at all, then I can understand running it for a very long time. But Hoffman's in season 3, Dave Turin's plant, the riffles always pack up with crap. So the longer they run it, the more gold they're shooting out at the end of it. After a certain point. Gone up the hill the hard way this 2 times. Heard all kinds of freaking noise and it's like, what the hell is that? It's the exchange on the my new heater. So it's normal to hear like a hissing noise when an AC heater unit turns off, because it's basically like a pressure exchange between systems or something like that. What you shouldn't hear is loud hissing and banging when it's actually running, which is what the old one was doing. Yeah, this new one's been working pretty good. We'll have to see what the saved energy is. I'm pretty damn sure that old one was just a giant money sink. It was literally like 15, 20 years old or something. So I'm pretty sure it was just ka-ching, ka-ching every time it turned on. Every time it thought about turning on. What are we at so far? Probably at around, I want to say probably around 12 or 13, maybe 16. I don't think we're at 20 yet. Probably aren't going to be over 20. We haven't done enough loads for that yet. 12%, yeah, that's what I thought. Once you've done this enough, you kind of get an idea of where things are based on the amount of time you've been spending and doing it. Some of the unintended side effects of mining for a total of maybe 6-7 hours this way. Just get used to judging how much is in there based on the time you've been running it. Probably takes another 20 minutes to get to 50. What I also like about this is that the gauge for the bucket angle is wrong. It doesn't actually show you the entire range. When you're at the top like that, you usually can also go up a bit more. It's the one on the far right on the panel down there on the right side, bottom right side, in the middle there. It doesn't show you, it's basically broken, it doesn't show you all of the stuff it should show. So you would just stop like right here, right? No, you can go up higher. See, that's where the gauge stops. Oh, I guess maybe not. I guess I went too far that time. Maybe that was it. Either way though, usually whenever I'm done, when I get back up there from getting material in here, I usually somehow end up having a little bit of extra to move it. I don't know if that's a bug maybe in how the controls work for this. Crap, we're getting stuck on a bunch of the ground now. We'll need to try and, or is the bucket too low? Oh, the bucket was too low. Okay. Can't say, it didn't look like the ground was sticking up there. So now when I bring this up, or pull, now watch. I can tilt it up more. I think that's a bug in the controls for the, for this. The loader. It like bends the angle down even though it doesn't show you the angle's been changed on the thing. Either way, something's broken. Something's broken somewhere. It's not operating like you would expect it to, or how it should. Or if it is, the gauge is not showing it the changes correctly. Not that I'm surprised. I've come to expect small stuff like that to be common. I was going to try and get some of this dirt that's on the very bottom of the ground here. Cool, first try. Normally it's a real pain to get all that stuff. I guess it is a full bucket. I don't think it was. I'm interested to see what we get out of this thing, this new trommel. I haven't really done any comparison tests before. So what I would expect out of the other trommel, in the, let's just say specifically in the mats, the moss, because that's directly connected to the trommel. And I'm not sure exactly how that would also then impact the jigs or the hog pan mats. But in this material, well, it was some of the really good material, but I'm not exactly sure where it is. But in general, as a general kind of range, the hog pan mats at about 50%. Hog pan mats. The moss is at about 50%. I've been getting around 12 to 13 ounces out of it, on average, at 50%. So we'll see if this trommel does any better. Because all this material here is basically the same grade of material. It's really nice stuff. Crap, not that way. Wrong way. Alright, there we go. That's like almost a whole 15 degrees that bucket moves. Weird. Alright, coming up on 25%. Really, the 50 is arbitrary. It's just half. And really, well, it's not really arbitrary either. It's a good checkpoint, if you will, to see what you would get on a full cleanout. Mainly because, for whatever reason, the lower the percentages, the worse amount of gold you get. So what I mean by that is obviously you get less, but the ratios are off. They don't work. The math doesn't work. If you pull out a mat and wash it off at 20%, you should be able to then take that same mat with the same material, run it to 100, and it should be 5 times more. If it's the same material all the way through, same quality material. So far, I've not seen that happen. It's been slightly off. It's either been like 4.5 to 4.2, somewhere in there. It's been close, but not quite the same amount. And I think it's just because the dirt's not equally the same across the entire area that you're mining, that you have to mine to get it to 100%. The only way would be to like take an excavator and mine two tiles that are exactly the same in terms of their gold density and where the pay streaks are at and all that kind of stuff, which is probably pretty much impossible to find because everything's going to be pretty much the same unless it's a really crapped tile. Then maybe, but nothing that's got any kind of gold in it will be similar. That's similar. So it's not super ultimate authority kind of instructive, but it will give you an idea. So what I'm looking for on this cleanout, I'm just gonna do first. I'll just do the mosses, just all the mosses first, and we'll see what we get out of those. At 50% out of this material, I would expect at least 15 to 25 ounces. That's what I expect on the range, because that's the minimum and maximum range that I've found. So, the range I've found so far. At 61% out of 4 mosses, I found 24 ounces of gold out of this material around here. And then I found later on, I found as little as on 100% with all the mosses going through. I only found about it was a little under 15 actually. It was 14.92, I believe. So somewhere within that range is what I would be expecting for the other trommel. So I'm expecting we'll increase it by 3 ounces. So 18 to 33 ounces. That's what I would expect out of this. I'll give it a nice Venn diagram overlap. Be a little bit more fair. That's what I would expect out of it. The other question though is, has anything gotten kind of screwy since we went to the easy mode? Is it going to be easier to find gold now than it was before? In other words, I don't know, because this game wasn't generated as an easy game. It was generated as normal before. I don't know if when you switch it down to easy, if they regenerate everything or not. That is a good question. I don't think they do. So I don't think it's going to be, I don't think we'll find more gold than usual. I think we'll find roughly about a normal amount of gold. It's not going to be like anything like 50 ounces. Well, maybe it will be, who knows. There's no exact figures that I can find as far as how more efficient the different trommels are, or different equipment is from the lower stages. So it could be that this is like, 20-30% more efficient, which would maybe get us closer to 40 ounces. Who knows? Like I said, this material down here is pretty kick-ass. It's just a matter of getting something that'll get most of it. It's also why I wish that tailings were an actual thing you could pile up and then rerun through, because like Parker found out, running his grandfather's 60 or 15-year-old tailings, older machines and lower class machines aren't as efficient, so they throw gold out with the tailings. Run them through something more newer or more efficient and you'll get that stuff. Alright, 33% probably where we'll end up with that. So that gets run through there. It's at 32 right now. This is the stuff I was running through the mobile wash plant. Now I was getting, out of that I was getting like, 15 ounces max. Once everything was said and done. The mobile wash plant's pretty crap. And there's only really one stage recovery. Here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages of recovery. You got the nugget trap, you have the trumble sluice boxes, you have the actually 4, yes. You have the hog pans, and you have the jigs. Oh wow, where the hell am I? Where am I going with this stuff? I was gonna turn around and throw it in throw it on the grizzly bars from that side. Get used to doing it that way from Rivertown. This way's easier though. It's much harder to actually lose material this way. Alright, come on, let's go. Oh, we're definitely getting a bunch of the dirt out there. Got a nice little canyon forming there. Pretty soon I'll be able to like friggin' move around in there and just like turn around and stuff. We'll see. Still, I mean that's a lot of material to have moved out of there. Granted, a lot of it I did with the excavator, but still. All that second half of that's pretty much all the excavator, but still. Everything up until right about here, I dug out with the loader. And then there was like basically from where the loader, top of the loader is down to the ground is where the leftover material was I couldn't get with the excavator. Just to see if I can do it. Yeah, it's kind of a tight fit, but I can do it. Wastes a lot of fuel doing it, but I could do it. Definitely get up the hill a bit easier because you can stick it in the second gear and drive all the way up. Going forward. Alright, 40% probably. So the stuff I'm putting through right now is some of the better dirt that we have around here. It's coming out of one of the I think the second, God, little frog throat action there. It's coming out of the second best hole that I have. The best one is the one I started to dig right there, kind of off to the left of the screen right now. That one had like basically a 100% paste streak, essentially, or richness rating, whatever the hell that means. Basically, it was just like a pretty much almost the entire thing was almost a paste streak. But the spot I'm digging now, there was all these were about 360, 380 ounces of gold, and I've mined out most of it. So we should still be getting quite a bit though. Actually, we'll probably get more, in fact, because we got the new trommel going there. Just pick up a little bit more of it. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I'd usually get around, from the mosses and the mats, usually get around 5 or 6% magnetite too, so we'll see if we end up getting more of that. I've usually found the amount of magnetite that you get instructive as to what you get for gold. The more magnetite you find, the more gold usually you get. That's what I found. Going up the hill the hard way. Let's angle it a little bit. Get a better grip on the ground. So I'm going to be delaying the Odyssey Void update probably till mid-March. I just need some more time to work on stuff for it. Haven't had much time. I've full-time job's been taking a lot of time the last couple months, and then also the part-time contract work I have has also been taking up a lot of time recently on the weekends. I mean, I could do it instead of streaming, but I'd rather keep the channel, YouTube channel, a little more fresh than put a little more importance on the YouTube channel than I do on the game at the moment. No, I'm gonna go the other way. Then once we go into hiatus after Chrono Cross is done, that'll change. I probably won't stream quite as much either. So what's going to happen is that once Chrono Cross is done, I'm going to basically go on hiatus. Well, not really hiatus, but I'm going to stop doing walkthroughs and probably doing streaming as much, not do streaming as much either. So I can work on the review series. So what's supposed to happen was, originally what I had planned was, every time I'd finish a game, I would do a review for it and upload it. That didn't quite happen. I only did a review for Mass Effect. That was the only review I did. And I did that like a couple of years after I uploaded the walkthrough, so I am way behind. I've got literally 49 reviews to do. And I'll probably have to re-record some of the footage or download the YouTube videos and use those. So I don't have that footage anymore. Kind of getting tough to get back here now. Need to dig out some of the ground around there. Getting pretty close to 50 though, so won't be too much longer here. Whoa, wrong way. I don't know if that's a full bucket or not. It kind of looks like it is, but also doesn't. Kind of looks like it's not. I guess we'll find out. Normally you get 23 when you dump a full bucket into the shaker with one of these, with a loader. No, that's full. Okay. So one more, and that'll get us to 51, probably. 51, 52. Well, I think we might get to 50 with that, but I don't know if we will exactly. Didn't flip to 49 really quick. So I think we were just like in the early stages of the 48% there. Alright, let's put this down a bit. Alright. All I wanted to do was to get one more bucket, damn it. Why is that so hard? Alright, here we go. Well, it started to, then I kind of like went up on the... got caught up on something. Alright, there's our last bucket there. I think I'll need to try that again. There we go. A little too much, but can easily rectify that. Other way. Looks like 49. Yeah, so I'll probably get to 51 here. I think it's 49 anyway. I can barely see it. Doesn't look like a 5 though. No, yeah, 49. Alright. Okay, last load. And there's 50. Yeah, it's just barely... It's barely at 48. That'll get us to 51. Oh, crap. I thought I had the brake on, but I guess I didn't. Okay, a little bit left on that. Oh, we got to 52 even. Nice. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and do the emergency shutoff. And then flip it over to the other power splitter. That'll be our clean out stuff. Alright, so mosses first. Well, let's do mosses and well, I don't know. Should we do mosses and the mats or just the mosses? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to just drop them down here. Instead I went sailing off the edge because the leg hit really hard at that point. That's just really weird. There's no rhyme or reason to the lag, really. Happens sometimes, doesn't happen other times. It might as well be randomly generated lag or something, I don't know. That'd be kind of messed up. Developer's like, I want people to hate my game, so I'm gonna make some code that'll create lag based on a random generator. So you might just have a really shite day and have all kinds of lag on one day and not have lag at all another day. That'd be kind of funny. For like a game that somebody's making that you're not supposed to enjoy it, it's supposed to be annoying as all hell. Do something like that with it. Call it the lag simulator or something. Basically, you can just rename this thing the lag simulator, and you'd have a game right there. Seems laggy like all hell. Okay, let's go ahead and throw these into the nudgitator and see what we get out of them all. I might take some of this leftover money and buy a second nudgitator. It would help speed up the cleanouts. So we could do all the, maybe even 3. Just do all the mosses from one side and one side and the other, and then another one for all the hog pen mats. God. Everywhere else, the action collision trigger boxes are all huge and massive and annoying, but here they're like paper thin. Okay, so that's going. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna wait. I was gonna throw the jig buckets into the separator, but I'm not gonna do that. Alright, done. I don't really care about putting this stuff back, so I'm not gonna do any more mining tonight. Once we're done with this, the stream is done. So we'll just do these first. We'll throw it into the separator and then into the wavetable, and we'll see what we get out of it. And then we'll do everything else. Because I'm thinking that, I mean, you would think that since we have a more efficient device up top, everything downstream of it should get more gold in it, just as a matter of common sense and of literal physics or whatever the hell you want to call it, statistics or whatever. It has to happen. It's just, you know, it's reality that it has to happen. Oh crap. Okay, well we're only gonna have 3/4 of our jig gold because I forgot to put a bucket down there. Crap. Damn it. Oh well, that's fine. This is a test clean it anyway. Oh yeah, definitely I need to make sure we put some buckets down here. I've only got 1 billion of them, so it's kind of annoying that I missed those. So let's see, 2, 3, 4. So that was just from the mats. Wow. Or the mosses. 198. So I was normally getting like 220 out of the mats and the mosses together. So that's interesting. Alright, let's see what we get out of this. This is only a 15% bucket here. That's another thing. That was out of a 50%. When I was getting the other stuff, that was 100%. Let's see what we get out of this. Is that literally like 9 ounces just from 0? Holy wow. Yeah, I think my hypothesis is confirmed. I think that everything downstream of this thing is going to have massive gold in it. Holy damn. That was 14 ounces just from the mosses. Just from 52%. So that's, you know, like 28 ounces projecting forward if we get, you know, if everything was equal in all that, and that other 50%, we would have 28 ounces just out of the mats themselves, or the mosses. Let's see what we get out of the mats. This might end up being a better decision than going to the other class. Well, definitely a better decision than that, because that decision always is going to end in bankruptcy and disappointment. I wish we could add a 3rd hog pan. So I wish we could do custom wash plants instead of this pre-made crap. I did put a bucket there, right? Yeah. That'd be kind of stupid to turn on and not have a bucket there. Okay, so this should also be 15%. Now it's gonna be more, isn't it? Interesting. Oh wait, not this. It was 15% in the other, out of the extractor, I think. Or something. Or there's already a bucket there. Okay. Nope, it's definitely more. That one only had 18 ounces of magnetite. That's interesting. So most of your magnetite comes out of the mosses then. That's interesting. I did not expect that. Well, actually, yes, I did, because the hawkpan mats are for getting fine grain gold. The mosses are more pick up more coarse material, and that's more magnetite. Wow. So that same material, we only got 1.3 ounces of gold out of the. So that's interesting. So even if you have a better trommel, if you have crappy jigs, it'll hamper what you get out of them. That doesn't make any sense, because you should have more gold coming out of your sluice boxes into here, which means you should have more gold downstream here too. Another thing these developers, I think, really fracked up on. I don't know who they had making the design documentation for this game, but whoever it was, logic wasn't their strong suit. Not at all. Alright, so we'll get 2 buckets out of this. Well, 1.5. We should have gotten 2 buckets, but whatever. So I'm not hopeful this will be much better. after seeing that. So we'll see though. Maybe I'm wrong. I just have a feeling this is going to be a regular, if not slightly worse bucket. I would expect to see maybe 6 or 7 ounces out of a 50% jig bucket, or out of the jig buckets combined. About 5 ounces. Well, we're getting some, actually. It's not too much. Maybe, I think that might be about 5, actually. Maybe a little bit more, even. Maybe a lot more. Six, not a whole lot more. So that was without the extra bucket. So with that one, there'd probably be around 7 or 8. Possibly close, maybe not, maybe close to 9 too. Somewhere in there. Anywhere between 7 and 9, I think, is where it would have been at. So, a little bit of an improvement. But it's kind of confusing though, because then the hog pan, so maybe the hog pan mats were extremely crappy, and I just never found that out because I never did them separate from the mosses. I always put all that into the same bucket. Yeah, there's not going to be another scoop out of here. This should be the same, because we didn't change the shaker. So I should probably get around 1 or 2 ounces out of this. I'm just going to throw it straight into the wave table. There's no reason to process it. I've never seen magnetite in this stuff. So I don't think there's any real reason to put it through there. Now we're getting a bit more than I thought we would. Alright, so 8 ounces. That's not bad. Alright, so that's about a half clean out. We should expect at most probably about 60 ounces of gold on 100% clean out with the new trommel in here. Before I was getting about 40, 45. So it actually did increase it quite a bit. Mostly in the obviously mostly in the mosses, that's directly below it, but maybe also in the jigs. I really can't tell for sure. I mean, it should be. The jigs should be increased, as should the hog pans. But I've never done the hog pans on their own in this setup, so I don't know if that was less or more. But anyway, so we got the trommel in there, we got it tested out, and it seems to be getting us some more gold, which is good. So all it's have to do is to do a crap ton of mining like I did before and build up a whole bunch of buckets and see what happens, see if we get more gold. So I believe that was 4 cleanouts worth of 6 buckets each. So it's 24 buckets. So if I dig out another 24 buckets, we'll see if we get 330 or not, or if we get more. Again, depends on the material, obviously, but all this stuff in here is pretty much about the same. So as close as you can get to the same being randomly generated anyway. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But thanks for watching the stream. If you watched it live on Twitch or YouTube, comments, questions, if you're watching afterwards, leave them below. And if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I think I'm reasonably confident and secure in saving over that. I'm not going to go the other way I was thinking of going. So in terms of the Chrono Cross videos, I'll be recording a bunch tomorrow morning before I go to work. I do have enough. Well, no, maybe I don't. I may or may not have enough to upload tomorrow. If I don't, then I'll probably get them released or published on YouTube by Saturday. So I'll probably do recording tomorrow and recording on Friday and Friday night. Render it overnight and then upload what I need to on Saturday and then publish them on Saturday. I have no clue how long. Let's put it this way. We're still on the first freaking disc of the game, so I'm not sure how long the second disc is. I've never actually gotten to the second disc, I don't think. Or maybe I just got just beyond the entry point to the second disc, so yeah. Still quite a ways to go. I think we've recorded something like 50 hours already. Let's see, so we're up to part 80, I think. So yeah, 40 hours. We're not even off the first disc yet. So it's going to be another one of those. Won't be quite as long as Persona 3 Fest. That was like, let's see. It's too big of a number, too big of math to do in my head at the moment. 633 divided by 15. So okay, so 633 episodes divided by 15 minutes each. Okay, no, I did that backwards. 633 times 15. Okay, 94.95. 9,495 divided by 60. So, my Persona 3 Fest walkthrough series took 158 hours and 15 minutes. That's how long it took. That's how friggin' long that one is. It's not going to be anywhere near that, but who knows? Or maybe there's another 80 hours worth of game. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens. But until next time, this is GeoWill, and I will see you later.